What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about a door lock with a fingerprint on it. Now we've reviewed a few door locks with a fingerprint on there that usually have buttons on there like a code you can put in. This isn't a deadbolt. This is made by GeekTale. It is a biometric fingerprint lock and it goes just for the door. No deadbolt at all. This is for like an interior door, more common for like an Airbnb or somewhere inside your house that you don't want anybody into. Anywhere that is easily accessible with a fingerprint. They do provide you a key or two keys if you want, but we all know that tracking down a key and trying to find out and store it somewhere so someone else doesn't see it can be kind of a pain. So GeekTale has this fingerprint door lock. They have a doorknob and then they also have just a door handle style. Now I got the black one here, as you can see, and this one is about I think it's $60. And then they also have a silver one, which is $70. I'll link both of them in the description below so you can check them out. They also have a regular door handle with a fingerprint, which I'm not actually reviewing today. I'll link that down below just in case that is your style too. Let's go ahead and check out the packaging and see what it looks like. Here's the packaging for the GeekTale doorknob. So it's got a fingerprint unlock. It does provide you a key, luminous function, and easy to install, one-touch unlock, 99.9% recognition rate. On the back, it says it's easy to install, fits 1 inch to 1 1/8 inch to 2 2/8 inch thick doors, adjustable latch. It's got both latches, the 2 3/8 and 2 3/4, and stores up to 20 fingerprints with 2 keys. And then on the bottom here, you got the model L-B01, 700 grams weight. Aluminum alloy, and it's powered by 4 AAA batteries. Batteries are not included. So the installation of this door handle is pretty straightforward. It's as straightforward as any other door handle out there. So what you're going to need to do is, most door handles have 2 screws. Now this one just happens to be on from the outside. Usually the screws are from the inside. This door was the doorknob was installed backwards. But you want those screws to be on the inside because if you lock the door, all someone has to do is remove the screws. So if it's on the outside, it's installed wrong. And most door locks, this one doesn't have a door lock when it had it, but most door locks, you lock it from the inside where the screws are anyways. So this one, you remove the 2 screws and you're able to pull the lock apart from the door. Then you have to remove the screws for the actual locking or latching mechanism. Once you do that, you're able to start installing the new one. Now the new one comes with all the same stuff. As you can see, you got to put the new latching mechanism in there and make sure you install it in the right way because it's flat on one side and then beveled on the other. The beveled side goes to where the door goes into the door frame. Once you get that locking mechanism in there, now you got to install the 2 halves. Now the 2 halves here are a little bit more difficult than most door locks. And the reason why I say that is because there is an electrical wire that goes from one side to the other, obviously connecting the fingerprint to the brain and the batteries inside. So you'll want to put the outside in first and then connect the wires. You might need more than just 2 hands. We all need 3 hands, right? 3 arms, 3 hands, whatever, to help us out. I was able to do it with 2 hands. I'll tell you, it was kind of a pain in the butt, and having 3 hands would have been helpful. So you might get someone to help you out, hold the lock or hold the one side on while you're doing it and connect the wires on the connector. And then get the other side on. Once you get the other side on, now you're going to be able to take the 2 screws that you provided. Actually, they provided you 4 screws, maybe because you screw up threads on one, I don't know. And then you start screwing the 2 halves together and make sure that's tight. Now, one thing to keep in mind here, they do provide you these little rubber gaskets, and what these do is they kind of help so that the door lock's not rubbing on the door paint. Now, I did find out after I went through all the installation of this, one of the rubber gaskets fell off, and it works just fine with just one on there or none on at all. Those are there, I think, to help with the finish of the door. Also, it kind of helps provide a buffer if the door is too thin. Now, one thing I did forget to install during this review is the little latching plate or the striker plate. Now, the striker plate that's on there right now, it worked out just fine, but I will go ahead and install this because it's brand new. It doesn't have paint on it. Actually, it just has this little protective sticker on it. But I'll go ahead and install that after this. But I didn't install that, but make sure you do install that so that way everything looks fresh and clean and new. Now, it took me a little bit of time to figure out on this because the instructions that came with well, I thought they weren't thorough, but after reading them again, they're pretty thorough. This thing takes 4 AAA batteries to power. Well, there's no batteries in there. And what you really need to think about is how you're going to get to the batteries. So there's actually 2 screws. I did struggle a little bit because I thought there's 1 screw on the inside on the ends of the door lock or the door handle. And I removed 1 and I could not get the cover out. But once you remove the other side too, there's 2 screws. That thing pops right out. There's a little spring on there and it pops right out. Holding the 4 batteries in while you're trying to get that door latch on, or the cover to that battery cover on there, was a little bit of a difficult task. For whatever reason, they kept trying to pop out the batteries. But once you get those in there, get 1 screw in there, you're set. You can get the other screw in there and let it go. You're good to go. Once you get the batteries in there, the lock automatically starts talking to you, asking you to register your admin fingerprint. So you go ahead and put your finger on there, and once it says to remove fingerprint, you remove it and you keep adding it for about 6 times. And it will beep at you if it didn't read it correctly. So just go ahead and let go of the fingerprint and put your thumb back, or whatever finger you have on there. Put it back on there so they can register it until it says it's successful. Now, it will ask you to register another admin finger, so I should use a different finger. But you might use someone else's, like your wife's, fiance's, significant other, whoever. You can use both of yours or just one of yours and one of someone else's. This thing does store up to 20 fingerprints, which is great. But I just registered 2 of mine, both for admin, and I will register my wife's so she's able to access this as well. Now, if you do have some questions that are not answered, well, go ahead and put it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you, and maybe I can help you, or a member of my community can help you as well. But they do have a little thank you for your purchase, and they have support system that they can help you out with if you do have any questions or need replacement parts. They do have 1-year warranty parts. Let's see, 1 month replacement and 1-year warranty for parts, I believe. So that way, if something were to fail on this, you've got a warranty for about a year, which is great. So not only does it have the fingerprint, but it also has 2 keys. So that way, if you do need to use it without the fingerprint or whatever have you, you can use a key. They do on the key set. I just realized that they do have a reset pin, so that we can reset the device or reset the thumbprints. But they also, if for whatever reason, you gotta ask, right? What happens if the battery dies inside? You can't get to it. They have this USB-C to USB-A cable, which you can use any of them. And you plug this into the port on the side of the lock or the side of the door handle, and it allows you to hook up power source to the lock for temporary power. So that way you can go ahead and get in there and change the batteries out. How long do the batteries last? That I'm not sure 100%, but what I did read in the manual that says it will alert you every time you unlock the door that the batteries are low, and they said that the first time it says batteries are low, you have about 100 unlocks before they actually die. 100 unlocks is quite a bit. This door probably won't be used very often at all. Probably unlock it a couple times a year. Probably gonna have to look at the batteries before they even go bad, just in case they don't corrode and mess this device up. That's how often we don't use this door and a door lock. So to finalize here, I will say for the price, it's a pretty good price. It's about $70 depending on which finish you want. But $70 for a nice handle lock or door handle lock instead of a knob. The knob I think is about $109, but we're not reviewing that today. But it's a nice door handle that you can have anywhere in your house and not worry about it looking gaudy or something like that. It's black. This one's black. The other one's silver. Just pick which one you want if you really need one. And it's really nice. The design and the function of it's really awesome. The build quality is pretty damn good. I think it looks really, I keep looking over there, but it looks really, how do I say it? It looks really good to me. I was trying to think of a good word to say other than really good, but it is pretty nice looking. The functionality of it functions really quick. It's easy to set a fingerprint. You can set up to 25 fingerprints. As soon as you put your thumb on there or your finger on there, it recognizes it really quickly, so there's really hardly any delay. So if you're going to open up the door, it's maybe a split-second delay versus something that you're opening up a door that's unlocked. And it's a very natural feel when putting your hand up there to get the door unlocked. Your thumbprint goes right on there. It's a very natural feel as if you're just putting your hand on the actual door lever itself. So for about $70, you can have one yourself. Again, I'll leave the product link in the description below so you can check it out, as well as any more additional information. If you have any questions, comments about this video, go ahead and put in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you out in any way, please leave me a like. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.